Hello guys, so today we're going to talk about Josef Fritzl, the man who reportedly out-APE his daughter and locked her up for 24 years. But before we get into this story, I just want to give a very brief introduction of myself. My name is Esther. I am a content creator and a storyteller. Now, most of the stories I tell are true crime documentaries, so it is safe to say they are all based on true life tales. If you're seeing me for the first time, if you're watching my video for the first time, please do well to subscribe and like my videos. Josef Fritzl was born in April 9, 1935 to Maria Fritzl and Josef Fritzl Sr. Now, Josef Fritzl Sr. was an alcoholic, so Joseph didn't grow up with a father. He was only 4 years old when the father left, and he grew up with just his mother. In 1956, at age 21, Fritzl Jr., that's Josef Fritzl, got married to 17-year-old Rosemary, with whom he had 3 sons and 4 daughters, including Elizabeth, who was born on 6 April 1966. At a point, Joseph became obsessed with one of his daughters, his last daughter, Elizabeth Fritzl. Now, Elizabeth will later go on to say that only at age 11, her father sneaks into her room to have his way with her. Now, Joseph takes Elizabeth wherever he goes to. She was the favorite daughter, and I'm sure other siblings will be jealous. In 1978, Joseph decides he wants to build a cellar in his home. Now, he went to get a permit to build the underground of his home. He will spend day, night there building the cellar all by himself. Not even his wife is allowed to go down there to give him water to drink. As time went on, Joseph became more and more obsessed with his daughter, and as she's growing into a teenager, she began to fight back. She began to rebel against him, and Joseph didn't like that. He felt like he was losing control over her. She's going to become an adult very soon, and he's not going to have control over her again. He was really upset about this. And there are also times where Elizabeth will run away from home, but the cops brings her back. She ran away from home several times, but the cops keeps bringing her back. In January of 1983, Elizabeth tried to run away for the very last time. Now, the cops found her, brought her back home, and Joseph told her that he was never going to let her run away again. In 1984, Joseph lured his daughter Elizabeth down the cellar. He locked her there, tied her and blindfolded her. By the time Elizabeth woke up, she found herself in that cellar. For a very long time, Elizabeth stayed tied up in that spot. Joseph will come down there and bring her food. He was the only one that had access to her. Now, on the outside, Elizabeth is missing. Remember, this is not the first time she has been missing. So Joseph was also looking for his daughter. I think he was even crying. He was begging the cops to please find his daughter and bring her back home. So everyone is looking for Elizabeth, while Elizabeth was down in her father's cellar. Now, days turned weeks, weeks turned months, months turned years, and Elizabeth was still down there in that cellar. He comes there, gives her food, have his way with her, threaten her that if she ever tried to run away, he is going to kill her. Now, this is not a stepfather. This is a biological father, like the man who gave birth to Elizabeth. Oh my goodness. 5 years later, she turns up pregnant by her own father. Joseph took a book on pregnancy, gave it to Elizabeth, and bought everything she needed on having a baby down there in that cellar for her, and she had a baby down there. Okay. Over the years, in space of 10 years, Elizabeth got pregnant again and again and again. So now she had 3 more babies. That is 4 babies for her father, while Joseph was living a total different life on the outside, he's living another life on the inside that even his wife is not aware of. Now, as time goes by, he has four more kids now, and that place, I guess, is too small for them. He decides to expand the cellar. Now, this is what the cellar looks like now. In 1993, Elizabeth has another baby, Lisa. Now, the cellar was becoming too small for them. So Joseph, he takes this baby upstairs, keep it in a box, and made Elizabeth write a letter to her mom. Oh, mom, this is Elizabeth, your daughter who ran away years ago. I have a baby now. Please help me take care of my child. And what every mother would do, his wife took the child. Now she's raising a child that her daughter gave birth to for her husband. In 1996, Elizabeth turns up pregnant again. Now, this time she ended up having a set of twins, and one of them is a boy who ended up having respiratory infection. Now, she begs her father to take him to the hospital, but he didn't accept. Well, the baby ended up dying. You know what Joseph did? He came, took the baby, put him in the furnace, and burns him completely to ashes. And then took the ashes and threw it away. Elizabeth ended up having a couple more kids for her father, so it takes them upstairs just like he did the first one. At this point, his wife was already raising three of his kids. His wife was already raising three of his kids. Can you imagine how inhuman that is? I know you might be wondering how all of this came to light. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Now, Elizabeth, 19-year-old daughter, like she was born in there, all 19 years of her life, she hasn't had any sunlight or any fresh air. How do I say it? She was ill, and seriously ill. She was passing out, I don't know, and Elizabeth was panicking, so she kept on telling Joseph to take her to the hospital. He didn't want to. He said no, that he can't take her to the hospital. You know, he can't take her to the hospital. We all know why he can't take her to the hospital. So Elizabeth was like, okay, what's going to happen if she dies in here? Because this is a grown-ass human being. There is no way you can burn her in the furnace the way you did the other kid. So I think that was how she was able to convince Joseph to take her to the hospital. Joseph, he agrees to take her to the hospital. So he made Elizabeth write a note. Oh, this is your long lost daughter. This is my daughter. I was actually taking her to the hospital. Anyhow, he took her to the hospital. And the nurses, when they found her, there was no paperwork on this kid. They noticed that they didn't have anything on this child. It was just as if she fell down from heaven. So they were asking Joseph, who is the mother, and he kept on saying, oh, she's my daughter's daughter that ran away. You get? And the nurses, I think they already know Joseph and his wife. Remember, they are already raising three kids. Not only were they raising these three kids from their daughter, they are also getting government support. So on the outside, everybody was like, oh, these people, they are raising their grandchild. Oh, their daughter ran away to be in a court somewhere. So the cops got involved, and they wanted to know who this 19-year-old girl is. Well, since they could not find the mother, she's run away, they wanted to find the father. So they took a blood sample, and they wanted to take the blood samples of every family members and the other kids too. Every family member brought their sample for a DNA test. Everybody except from Joseph. Anytime they go to him, oh, it's busy, oh, this, oh, that. And I don't think anybody will be busy for something that has to do with your daughter. So it began to get suspicious, acting suspicious, and the cops started suspecting him. So Joseph, he went down to that cellar and tell Elizabeth, you need to go up there. The cops are already suspecting me. You need to go up there. And this was around 2008, 24 years after Elizabeth went down that cellar when she was only 18. You need to go up there. And so he let her go for the first time in 24 years. When Elizabeth came out and she was arrested on negligence, like you're a mother and you're neglecting your kids, you have 4 kids out here and you are not taking care of them. Why do you keep, you understand? At first, she wasn't able to talk. She wasn't talking. The cops were interrogating. I think at a point she got scared and she told the cops everything. They did not believe her. I'm sure you will not believe a story like that as well. And she kept on saying, yes, it's true. Now, at this point, Elizabeth was about 42 years, but she was looking above 60. So she told the cops, oh, you can go down the cellar. The other kids are there. This is what my father has been doing to me for over 24 years. Now, Joseph is a very honorable man in the community. So it was very difficult to believe. And then the cops went down the cellar and Joseph was arrested immediately on RAPE and forceful imprisonment and all of that. Elizabeth, I don't know where she is now, but I heard her identity was changed because of everything that went on, and she moved into an unnamed village. But I just hope she's doing well. I just hope her kids too, their names were changed. I just hope her kids are doing well. I can imagine how traumatizing this was for her. I mean, and the kids, even the entire family. I just hope she's fine.